Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet
Merp.
Mer.
All right, so this week up on the docket, we have actually quite a few things to go over.
For the first time in like a month. That's
Forever,
so
actually.
weird.
So we're going to start off by, of course, letting you know about what we've been up to this week, and
hmm
then we'll go right into the changes. There's quite a bit of stuff, like we just mentioned. So we have account creation changes, so some technical stuff to go over, and then the exciting stuff, which is Varlamore Part 1.
Yeah, some reward changes for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, these are reward changes. There's a poll included in this as well.
hmm
And then we have the content creator. These are license and makeshift stuff.
Yeah.
So for anyone that is making content that is OSRS related, I think this is primarily like physical content.
Well, we'll get to it, but they're talking about like making your own plushes from the same company. But it's like, there's a whole lot, and it seems like you kind of have to be a bigger creator to be able to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You can still make your own plushies, I'm assuming, but not with makeshift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have Children of the Sun, which is a new quest
Yeah.
that'll actually introduce you to Varlamore.
Oh my gosh. A new quest. Let's go.
Yeah. So we'll be going over all those, but and then of course, sorry, don't let me forget. Like I do every week, we do have a Q&A at the end of every
I mean, to
episode.
be fair, we're only like 148 episodes in. Like,
Yeah,
why? How would you remember?
but also as a reminder, in case anyone does want to ask questions, whether they
hmm
are real life or game related or anything else, really, feel free to ask us on any of our social medias, but especially our Discord, which is discord.gg/boonbape. We do
Yeah,
have a section for questions.
you just
But
ask them anywhere if you want,
yeah,
really.
ask them anywhere though. Feel free to let us know, and we will try to answer them as best we can.
hmm
But before we get into all that fun, exciting stuff, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. I know we got a purple this week, but
Yeah,
I did not. Okay, we got a buckler the other day.
apparently wasn't
I
that
wasn't writing
exciting.
down the amounts. I think it
Wow.
was like 4 mil. I was actually surprised. I thought it would be like 2 mil each. So I was like, okay, I take this. Um, dang, like
That
yeah,
was all.
that might actually be it.
Yeah.
Other stuff though, I've been trying to do like some CG random CAs too. I finally hit 10 CG KC last night. That's a lot of
Wow.
and I started doing a new thing on stream now. Whenever people are the first person to sub or gift a sub or sub for the first time, I've been doing little drawings,
Yeah, they're
and
really good.
it's really good. I only spend 2 minutes drawing them on paint.
If anyone didn't know, Michelle's an artist in her spare time.
Yeah, I mean, I should be. I think I might embrace it now at this point. Like, that's the career path for me. Join our Discord. You could see them. They're interesting.
Yeah, there's actually a channel just for all of her beautiful drawings.
Yeah, last night I had to draw Zilliana getting her tax return, and I wasn't sure how to do that. So I just had her with an envelope looking shocked.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, is it shocked? Do you think it'd be shocked in a good way or a
I think
bad way?
shocked in a good way. I think that she is very responsible and gets like the most back from her tax refunds.
I think like the three minions would be like her children, so she just gets like a
Oh
huge tax return.
yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, that's not in the United States. You get a large tax return if you have children
Mhm.
or just dependents in general.
Yeah. But the drawback is you have to pay for them the rest of the year.
Yeah, the drawback is kids are expensive.
So it doesn't it's not this is not a life hack. Don't have
Yeah,
kids just for that.
definitely a wash.
But yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with that, and I've also been making more videos. I did a video on I did my Spori guide. I'm not sure if I mentioned that last week. I did a video on anima patch and like what seeds you could get there and what they do, and then I also made a quest guide for the new quest.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's so funny because all these videos are like literally less than 5 minutes long, but the process of making videos, because like I'm still pretty slow at it. Like I spend like 4 hours making like a 3 minute long video.
yeah, she's a
It's
little
so
slow
weird.
poke.
Okay. Especially the quest. I did it on 2 accounts and then like I yeah, I didn't need to do it on 2 accounts. I only used footage from one. But I was like, just in case. Like I just wanted to be making sure everything was correct and stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, I've been trying really hard doing stuff like that. And then just streaming. And I'm starting a bingo tonight actually. I might have to do some like more.
it's Tina's bingo, right?
It is. It's Tina, the streamer, her bingo. I think her name is actually X Tina on Twitch
Ex
now.
Tina.
Which I don't know how she got that name. Strong name. But There's like 22 people on my team, and I'm not totally sure what I'm supposed to do because I've been distracted all week. So I'm like literally have to record. I'm gonna be like, "Hey guys, so does it matter what I do, or can I just like wing it?"
Yeah.
And we'll see because I'm gonna have to edit and try to do it while editing. But yeah, I'm really excited for that, and hopefully next week I could tell you about all the gold that I got from bingo and how we won.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's a short one, it's in like 4 days.
Anything else?
I think that's it, but we'll see. What are you
Nice.
up to?
I have not been up to much. I have kind of wanted to play RuneScape recently, but I haven't. But I have kind of wanted
You
to.
wanting to is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to log on to my
Hardcore?
hardcore, but I mean, yeah, I just haven't. Honestly, I just don't have that much time recently. But
Mhm.
yeah, cause well, I go to the gym that I go to was closed when I go in the morning, but now it's reopened. So
Yeah, that's why he was gaming so hard the past few weeks is because 'cause he'd still wake up, like, he was
yeah.
going to the gym, but then he'd just stay home and play games.
Yeah, exactly. So now I have a lot less time because I'm back on like a normal schedule and I'm trying to I actually went back to like my full normal schedule, which includes like more study and less uh playing of games. Also, I kind of randomly got like into learning about stock trading recently. Not that I'm actually trading, but I
Dude,
don't have any money to trade, but
this okay, a little quick side thing on this. This he's, like, listening to an audiobook about this guy who, like, made hella money with it and kept having, like, highs and lows, and he ended
well,
up
it's about the guy that is the story. Well,
is it actually?
yeah,
Oh, he
yeah.
inspired Wolf of Wall Street.
If you Google, I forgot his name. It's like Lawrence. I forgot his last name. It's like Lawrence something. It's also with an L. But anyways, it's kind of about the original Wolf of Wall Street, or
Yeah,
no, I think the Wolf of Wall Street might be based on like it could be based on a couple different people, but this is like one of his nicknames was the Wolf of Wall
that's
Street.
funny. Well, I know it wasn't exactly the same because
Also,
he took his own life because he was in ruin.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like a
Well,
cautionary tale.
I don't think the movie is about like his later life. He didn't do that until he was like 60.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really depressing. Into
Also,
that
this was all like during like the early 1900s.
before the depression.
Yeah, before, during, and during the First World War as well.
Wow.
And actually, no, I think it's just before. Yeah, before the Great Depression. But anyways, it's also funny because out of context, this nickname sounds absurd. But one of his most well-known nicknames was
The boy hunter.
the boy
Wait,
plunger. Yeah.
I said mine as a joke.
It was the boy
That's
plunger.
wor
It's
What?
because
What was he doing to the boys?
no, it's because when he first started trading, he was a boy, and plunging infers to like going all in.
The boy plunger.
Yeah, so he was known throughout his entire career as the boy plunger.
No one was like, "Hey, that sounds weird."
No, because this is 1900.
Yeah, everyone was pedophiles back then, you're
I mean,
right.
I don't know, but yeah, no one. It apparently wasn't weird because I mean, I think eventually they dropped the boy, but
Yeah, because they were like, "That's weird."
yeah, once he became a fully grown man into like his 30s and 40s, they just called him like the plunger or
Well, in 2024, I've gotta say, the boy plunger has gotta be, like, top 5 nicknames of all
yeah,
time.
definitely a weird nickname.
The I always said the boy hunter as a joke, and you're like, "No, it's worse."
Yeah, the boy plunger.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
But anyways, it's actually a pretty interesting book. It's one of the most well-known trading books of all time, and it's not just about trading. It's actually a fairly interesting story, and it's just about the highs and lows of this person's life. That was kind of interesting. It did end in tragedy, and I don't think the book is necessarily about that. I just wikied him after the fact.
Oh, yeah, no. I only said that because am I feel like it's a cautionary tale of everything that happens, knowing what's gonna happen later.
Yeah, if you want to listen or read the book, I had to find a couple. Because it is so old. It was published in 1920. There's like a bunch of different versions of the book.
Oh,
So if you do listen to it, I'd recommend finding a good narrator because the first one I found was not very good at all.
so there's multiple narrators who have to say the words "the boy plunger."
The same exact book. Yeah.
I want to hear every voice lined up saying the boy
And I
plunger.
don't think I've said the name of the book yet. It is
I
Reminiscences.
thought you were gonna say that was the name of the book.
No, it's Reminiscences of a Stock Operator.
That's quite a 1900s name.
Yes, very much. And they say things like, "Oh, instead of I'm gonna drive up to New York, they say I'm gonna take the automobile and motor up."
Wait, what?
Yeah, definitely a stark
Gonna
contrast
motor up.
in cool terms back in the day.
Yeah, I mean the boy plungers. It's always stayed cool
Yeah.
until recently.
Yeah, for instance, whenever he first started trading, he was I think 14 and he like dropped out of school or whatever and in order to work, he was like writing on the chalkboard at the place that they would trade
Hmm.
and he was making $5 a week and by trading he would get like an additional $3 a week, essentially like doubling how much
Yeah,
money he was making.
and I'm sure that's a lot now.
And it's funny because like the first $1,000 of cash he brought home, his mom's all like, "You have to stop gambling." She thought it
Okay,
was like fake money.
let me say what he was. The way that you were saying it sounds like he was just like gambling in it.
Yeah.
He had a problem.
Well,
Look.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he died very much in debt.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of interesting. So I'm not trading stocks, but I am interested in learning about stocks. So that's kind of like a weird real life thing.
Okay.
But besides that,
Respect.
I think I've played like a couple hours of Path of Exile this week, but that's it.
Yeah.
Anyways, on to actual news. We can
Yeah.
talk about some interesting stuff, and by interesting, I mean not
This
very.
no, this is controversial actually. People do not I don't mind this. People don't like this. So this was the
Sure.
first news post this year. It's on account creation
It's funny
changes.
because I said
You know,
months
I know you
and
did.
months and months ago this would
But people are
happen.
still acting surprised.
So many
I
months
think
ago.
that they even said.
I may have said this even years ago at this point.
So, getting into it, building up all of this for it. In 2023, we introduced Jagex accounts, a new and more secure account system that can help you protect your hard earned gains and goodies. It features new and improved security and enhanced features, including stronger passwords, enhanced recovery, email verification notifications, improved bot detection, remembered sessions, and much more. Throughout 2023, we made improvements to Jagex accounts, including increasing the numbers of characters to 20, giving you the ability to reorder your character list, and making it possible to easily identify and import relative characters to your account. So there's a lot of reasons to switch, but wait, there's more. If you have a Jagex account, you also gain an extra bank space, get the fancier boots, and can claim rewards from the Count Check random event. So far, over 40% of active players have adopted Jagex accounts, and that number continues to grow. Heading into 2024, the team will carry on improving Jagex accounts with more upgrades to ensure the best experience for our players. They did all of this lead up talking about how good it is because what they're really announcing that is as of now, all new characters must be created via a Jagex account. This means anyone currently using a RuneScape account can still play as normal, but no new RuneScape accounts will be created, and characters will instead be made under a Jagex account.
Yep.
Additionally, in the near future, players using accounts created via third party, like Google, will need to transition to a Jagex account if they wish to play that account on a different platform. So,
That's cool, I guess.
I mean, I mostly feel positive about Jagex accounts, but a lot of people are not happy about this. I saw people talking about like making a bunch of like throwaway accounts right now just to have for later and stuff. Some people have bad experiences. I think most experiences are good, but like Potato, I don't know if you knew, like she switched to Jagex account and for some reason she was locked out of her account for like a week and a half.
Yeah, okay.
She only ended up getting it back, I think, because she like knew someone who could help her.
Yeah.
But yeah, people are not happy about it. Even though like I feel like they said this. I feel like you definitely said it.
I definitely said
You
it.
did, but I feel
Yeah.
like they said it too. It's like why would they introduce a new account type if they weren't going to eventually make everyone use the account type?
Yeah.
I don't think that they'll make everyone switch eventually.
This is like I don't know, just the writing was on the wall. I could make one of my like insane metaphors or analogies, but it was just obvious.
I also want to do a shout out to Bali who posted in our Discord and said like more of Robert comparing polls to eating roadkill and going out for food.
Yeah.
He has some insane comparisons. But yeah, I this doesn't affect me. I already have an account, but I have seen a lot of people complaining about it.
Yeah.
So it just felt like
Not a big deal. I
obvious.
think people are complaining just to complain at this point.
People are just nervous about it because they've heard bad stories. I haven't had a bad experience, but like, yeah, I'm just one person, so.
Yeah, we've all heard of the boogeyman, but we're not out hunting for him. So,
Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, that is it for the account changes.
Something that's actually interesting and
Oh.
actually worth getting upset about potentially is Varlamore Part 1. This is going to be the reward changes. So, this is
Mhm.
the updated version. There was two of these blogs because one has updated stuff.
Yeah. So we'll read a little bit of the first and then the update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the update is really just because there was a lot of overwhelming feedback about certain parts of the original one, and so I think only a day later they updated it
Yeah.
to essentially remove some of the stuff that they put in the original.
And all this stuff is already past polls. It's just they're updating it a little bit
Yeah, so
and or removing it.
all of this stuff is already going to be added in some capacity.
Yes.
So back in 2023, in November, there was a poll blog for some of the Fortis Coliseum and Perilous Moon activities. With the first batch of Varlamore content right around the corner, they reviewed some of the rewards. Although everything did pass the poll, they feel that there's still room for some improvement. So that's why they're having this blog.
Yep.
So the glaive of Ralos, obviously, this is the thrown weapon that actually makes it so the enemy will have part of their defenses reduced based on the enemy's magic level, similar to how the max hit of the T-bow is calculated. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they're just comparing more to like the Dragon Warhammer and stuff because it affects the defense.
yeah, it does the same exact thing as the Dragon Warhammer or the Bandos Godsword, but it is ranged, so
Mhm.
that is pretty cool. And you do that with its special attack in the same way. And people were mainly just concerned that it was able to hit for 0 damage.
Yeah, so the other thing that was like supposed to be cool about it, which is that the two attacks, whenever you do like the charge, it's two attacks, they each deal between 0 and 50% of your max hit, which sounds good, but the 0 a little a
Yeah,
little anticlimactic.
yeah. And with it being only between 0 and 50% of your max hit, it actually has a fairly high chance for it to be a 0
Mhm.
whenever it does hit. So
Yeah, apparently you could successfully hit and still grow still
still
go
grow.
and hit a 0.
Yeah. So that's not cool. And so they're trying to make it a little less likely for that to happen.
Mhm.
So they boosted the range strength from 45 to 55. And on top of that, the actual big thing is they're making it so that whenever you do use the special, it'll hit between a 0 and 75% of your max hit, giving you an extra padding at the top end, so making it less likely you'll hit the 0.
Yeah, and it'll just even out a little bit overall.
Yeah, so they're hoping that this will make it so that it won't outpace the other special attack weapons, but it'll make it better than
It'll still have
what it
some
was.
use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Before only 50%, like, it's yeah. I didn't know that you could successfully hit a 0. That kinda changes a lot.
yeah, you can do that
That's
with any.
lame.
You can do that with every weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, or almost every weapon, right?
Mhm.
That's kind of what they were talking about before. Whenever they were saying like early on, whenever you're training combat, you can successfully hit a 0, and it's actually really high chance because you're like low level combat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of the
Me
same thing,
fighting
and
cows.
especially you getting this early, like it being an alternative to something like the BGS or the Warhammer, which you don't get until much later in
Yeah.
the game, probably. I think this is generally a good idea.
I'd agree. Yeah, and this is gonna be polled, so it'll be a poll question if you think that they should change it.
Yeah,
If they don't change it, it will be added as it was. It's not gonna be taken out. It's either the 0 to 50% or the 0 to 75%. We are getting
yeah.
it.
Also, another really big change that I know a lot of people didn't like, or really
I
just,
still stand by that I didn't mind this.
I think a lot of people had a problem with like wondering how useful it would actually be. And this
Yes.
is going to be echo crystals. This is going to be the crystals that were like an alternative, or not an alternative. They were just straight an upgrade to boots, um,
Guardian
to
boots.
guardian boots. Yeah. So, anyways, echo crystals were pitched as a consumable item that could be socketed into a pair of guardian boots, giving the wearer AOE recoil ring effect. While the effect itself, excuse me, while the effect itself passed the poll with ease, some of you pointed out that the boots aren't necessarily the most intuitive item to stick a recoil effect on. I think that's perfectly
It's
good.
reasonable, but like I would like to say what I imagine is you attack and you stomp and the ground shakes from your boots. And that's
Oh,
the recoil.
okay.
That's why lore wise it makes sense to me, because that's what I'm picturing.
well, anyways, the lore that they've come up with makes much more sense than that.
Okay.
So they pretty much just made it so that you can potentially, with this new question, add it to your shield, which kind of makes a lot more sense because you can reflect things with a shield much better than you can reflect things with a stomp.
Yeah, the Totsketzil shield, as well as the odium and malediction wards.
Yeah, so
God, all the words I hate saying.
all of the two ranged shields, and then yeah, the Tots get ill, which is the obsidian shield.
Mhm.
Um,
I used that for a long time, so actually that would have been very handy.
Yeah, they think that this is the correct level bracket for this to be available on. They don't want it to be on the best shields in the game.
Yeah.
So the crystals themselves also receive a little bit of a boost, giving you +2 prayer bonus on top of the recoil effect.
Yeah.
So altogether,
Nice.
this should hopefully make them a lot more obvious of a choice.
Mhm.
I mean, I think they're really aiming at this being used for people that are farming like Zulra.
Yeah, and I mean, just as a reminder, these drops are gonna come from Perilous Moons, which will kind of be like barrows.
Yeah,
So it's not gonna be like a raid or
it's gonna be
something.
very early to mid game content, from what I understand.
Yeah, mid to yeah, definitely just mid.
And then also for anyone that forgot, the actual item itself is gonna make it so it does the recoil effect in a 3x3 AOE.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I think honestly, as far as I can like create in my mind, I think this is mainly just gonna be for people that are like farming Zulra, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I will get it for the collection log, but it's not something that I really see myself using. But
Yeah,
I don't need to. I would do like later.
as an Iron Man, I feel like this would be the main place I would use it.
I mean,
Maybe I would use
also
it at like
Slayer.
Slayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Slayer will be really good.
It depends on how easy it is to get and if it's like worthwhile.
Yeah, it's chargeable, right? Or like it's
Yeah. I mean, for a main, there's no point in not getting it if you're already using that shield.
mhm.
But if you're not using the shield, then I
And
don't.
it might be worth the grind.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Also, just to be clear, they did note that if the change passes, then the Echo Crystals will no longer be using Guardian Boots and only the shields. You will not get all four.
Yeah. Also, the next thing we have is Sunfire runes. These were already talked about before. They're kind of a combination rune.
Mhm.
We're taking a break from poll questions to clarify a few points about Sunfire runes, so no question with this one. These powerful spell catalysts were made from sunfire dust found in the Fortis Colosseum and could be used to imbue your fire spells with the concentrated power of the sun
The
in all
capitalized
caps.
sun for some reason. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It's not even exclamation mark though. It just felt weird.
Yeah, that was definitely weird.
Sun.
So this already passed, obviously. The first change we made is to rename Sunfire Dust to Sunfire
I
Splinters.
think that actually sounds kind of cool.
Sure.
I don't
You'll combine this with
know.
Rune Essence, Pure or Day Alt, depending on whatever you want, and regular fire runes at the new Sunfire Altar found in Varlamore. The Sunfire Altar is visually distinct from other altars and reflects the unique way Varlamorians and players alike will interact with it.
I feel like it's gonna look really cool. I'm excited to see
Yeah,
it.
some people were like joking that like you pray to it in like a different way and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wonder what they mean by visually distinct. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see it.
And then lastly, the number of Sunfire runes crafted per essence will now scale with your rune crafting level, kind of
Hmm.
exactly how it works with every other rune.
Get 99.
Yeah, we'll be implementing similar upgrades for other runes in future Varlamore batches. Adding minimum hits to standard spells is a reward space we're keen to explore. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Cool. Next they talk about Bladed Moon, but we're actually not going to talk about that.
Yeah, you're going to talk about that in just a minute when we go back to it.
Yeah, but let me just double check. There is one more question that they had. Not relevant. They just randomly put this in, and I love this. I almost just swore because I'm excited about it. As for an extra for this poll, we'll be including a question to include Mod Ash's rune pouch changes as stated in the most recent Gam Jam. So this question is: should we have the option to freely interchange the runes in your rune pouch while the bank menu is open? This will include 4 loadout options for you to customize.
Huge.
Please vote yes.
Yeah,
This is something
so
I've wanted for a really long time. I think I've even tweeted at Modash about this before.
yeah, this is kind of like the loadout option that we talked about previously, where if,
Mhm.
for instance, you have one specifically for ancient spells and
I think most people have something that they use certain runes for every spell book.
Yeah.
That's how I am at least.
Yeah, so maybe you're using a different spell book, or maybe if it's something as simple as going to a particular boss, or
Mhm.
if you're changing from bossing to slayer, you don't want to empty out all your runes because now you have to high alch. You just can click on the one that is specifically designed for high alching.
I'm really yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah, it's
Also, I forget what runes you need for thralls all the time, so it'll be nice to
yeah,
just have it saved.
it's a lot like it reminds me a lot of like loadouts for Call of Duty.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you say it like that, people are gonna be like, "Too easy, Ski?"
No, no, no. Yeah, that's definitely it's funny because I feel like Call of Duty kind of invented that. I don't know if
Hmm,
they did, but definitely feels like they did. So you can go from like sniper to like machine gun to submachine gun like really easily without
oh,
having to like pick everything.
interesting, okay.
Anyways, though, we did have an update for
Yes.
the Bladed Moon, which was the slash offensive offhand that was going to be the replacement for any slash users over the dragon defender.
Yeah, so it was going to be, they are shelving this for now.
Yeah, so originally they did have a new pitch for it because the original one was not adequate. People didn't like
Well,
it.
then people thought it was too good, and it's just
And then yeah, and then they were going to re-release it, but then yet again people are like this isn't the way to do this.
yeah, it seems like a lot of people's fear was that it's because it would sit in between the dragon and the Avernic Defender. So people were afraid that if you could just easily get this from something that's literally like Barrows, then what incentivizes you to go to top and grind out getting the Avernic?
Yeah.
Which I mean is a fair criticism.
Yeah, they do have quite a few words to say defending their decisions
Yeah.
and other people's concerns. So if you want to read the full thing, I'd recommend it.
Yeah, they even said, wait, sorry to cut you off. They said that the bladed moon with the dragon dagger would have almost been more potent than the special of the dragon claws.
Yeah, it actually would have been on par.
I know, so I'm like, how busted were you gonna make this thing?
Well, you have to think about it. The only reason it's the same amount of hits.
Oh, the DDS just wasn't good because it's just the DDS.
Yeah, it's not as accurate.
Yeah.
So it's the same amount of hits. So if you're gonna go for the claws because you have the money and you'll do potentially more damage, but if you can get the same accuracy on something that only costs 10,000 GP, then you're probably gonna go with that.
True.
So yeah, there's a lot of unintended consequences.
Yeah. And they do have a little too long didn't read that we could go over as well. So they say that oh, you scrolled the wrong way. So they say that execution of big accuracy number isn't easy to understand at a glance for players in terms of how it stacks up against other options. I like whenever they say stuff like this because what they're saying is you guys didn't get our vision. That's essentially what it is, right?
No,
That
not at
sounds
all.
like you guys didn't get our vision. They say isn't easy to understand at a glance for players.
No, yeah.
That was my impression reading it.
Well, for players in terms of how it stacks up against other options.
What, I don't know. To me, just the way they word it to me sounds like they're saying you guys don't get it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
guess
if I'm
so.
just reading into it because I assume everything's passive aggressive, but that's how I read it.
Yeah, I don't know. They say execution of quote unquote big accuracy number isn't easy to understand at a glance for players in terms of how it stacks up against other options. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I actually don't really even know what they mean by that.
Oh, they talk about it more. Like it's just talking about that was in the original thing that they mentioned,
Yeah.
like the post that we are not going over. I mean, I don't really think we need to get into it just because it's not happening.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty easy to understand mostly because it just makes your items better.
Yeah, that's essentially it.
I don't know what they mean. Like it's not very complicated. So I mean, I don't know what their other
They
main
said we're too
concerns.
stupid to understand.
Yeah, I was like, I read most of this. I don't know what their other main concerns were that I'm just like not
I think
interpreting
that that
correctly.
was in
But
their original post, to be fair.
yeah, because I mean, the main concern they even said it is that this would make the Blade of Salador um really good.
Blade of Salador, where does it say that?
Well,
Oh, I
so
thought it was in the too long didn't read.
no, no.
We
So
read this separately at different times, and clearly different parts stuck with each of us.
yeah, so there's like
Ah, here we go. The
yeah,
pairing of Blade of Salador with Bladed Moon.
yeah. So they were saying that in combination, it would be a lot better than Osmumten's Fang and the Avernic Defender.
Oh yeah.
So, like that, also the fact that it undermines the Scythe is also a really big concern because the Scythe sucks. and this would just make it so that it is
Mhm.
not only not a very good weapon, but in comparison to other slash weapons, suboptimal.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they mean by it's difficult to understand because they outline it fairly plainly
Mhm.
how easy it is to understand.
The other things, to sum it up, competes too closely with the Avernic Defender, hurts position in the game, and thus tops loot table, like we said. It results in situations where other slash weapons power creep on the scythe, which also hurts Top's loot table because, like, I mean,
Because the
really, why
scythe
would
sucks.
anyone go to Top if not for the Avernic and scythe?
Yeah.
It's perhaps too strong when paired with the Dragon Dagger special attack, and it results in significant imbalances in PvP, which is not all our intent in this edition.
Yeah, I honestly, even though I don't PvP, feel like they would have been by far in a way the biggest losers if this actually came out to the game.
Really? Because the DDS, you
Yeah,
think?
because there
Yeah.
are many accounts designed specifically to use declaws.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And if you're
okay.
able to just subvert that by going
Doing a
directly
DDS in
to a
this.
DDS
Yeah.
with nearly no requirements,
Okay, true. I didn't understand why it would affect PvP, but that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, you would kind of mess up a lot of accounts by doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're removing it because I don't think this is the proper way to do it. I think you should find a different place to add slash accuracy.
I will say I would not mind a defender in between Dragon and Avernic, but maybe something a little bit harder than like Barrows.
Yeah, I mean, maybe add like,
Top just feels like very far past Warriors Guild. So
yeah,
something in between, but harder.
yeah, I don't want to like tie so many things that are like super important to one raid.
hmm
So this probably isn't the best solution, but I could see something like an ornament kit from Tob that would just straight up improve the accuracy of the scythe or something
Well,
like that.
then it wouldn't really be an ornament kit. It would just be like a full on another drop.
Yeah, sure. It'd be like the Avernic on top of the Dragon Defender. It's like it would just make it slightly better.
Oh, it would be like a Vernic Junior.
Yeah, like maybe you can
I
only get it from hard mode Tav or something like that. But
don't
that's
know.
obviously not the best idea.
Or
It's
an
just
entry
like
mode Tom.
something that doesn't come from low level content
hmm
that would make your, blade of salad, just insanely good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they should add something like that in the future, but I also think that they're not gonna be able to do it how it is right now because it would just make everything too busted.
Yeah.
All the cheap stuff. They'll have to definitely make it slightly worse.
Also, they need to do something because Blade of Salador is like
Yeah,
very expensive
that's gonna be
and
part of the rework.
it's a fairly long grind too.
hmm
And it's like not used anywhere.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be part whenever they rework the Fang and the Scythe. It's gonna affect really a lot of melee slash things
Yeah, the
and
game would
stuff.
be
So
you're right. The game would be a lot better if they
stop it.
removed the Fang.
Oh my
I agree. I
god.
totally agree.
I think within the next couple months we're gonna be seeing a lot about the rework, so that'll be interesting. You'll
Yeah.
be happy about
Yeah, hopefully.
it. But moving on to the content creator, avatar license, and makeshift framework. So today we are announcing a new avatar license and makeshift framework for content creators. Our RuneScape and OSRS creators produce some amazing content that's appreciated by players and JMods alike. We're always looking for new ways to support their creativity and enable them to build a livelihood from their work. Post the release of the Jagex fan content policy, we've been working with Jagex Legal and our partners on other ways to allow content creators additional revenue streams from merch. We have two updates on this today. And they do say that we have no hard and fast rules as to how we define a content creator, but the programs outlined below only make sense for creators who can use a significant following to promote the products being made. So it follows that this will likely be one of the criteria considered in any application process. What they're saying is you have to be like a bigger creator, right? Like
No, what they're saying is they don't want to be liable for setting any restrictions and people falling outside of those restrictions and not being able to sue them.
that too. Also, I'm still annoyed about the Jagex fan content policy thing. That you could, I think you could sell like 100 of the products. I was talking to Megan about it because there's this person, Mitchie Fox, that makes like really good merch and stuff, and it's just like they could probably sell their stuff forever, but
Yeah.
there's a limit.
It's honestly ridiculous. Even giants as big as Disneyland don't care.
You know, isn't or Mickey's public domain now? He's gonna be in a
No,
scary movie.
Steamboat Willie is.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be in a scary movie already.
Yeah. I
Same
mean,
with Winnie the Pooh.
yeah, that's like still like kind of weird, but it's like there's so many people that make Mickey Mouse content on Etsy and don't see legal problems like
Yeah.
this.
Though
So
I'm sure
it's
that there
like,
is every once in a while someone gets made an example out of.
yeah, maybe someone that's, selling like tons of content
Yeah.
or something like that, or just direct rip-offs of their content. But
Yeah, I am still frustrated by the fact that they're limiting how much people could sell.
yeah, very, very greedy.
I mean, yeah, especially if it's something copying exactly, maybe then whatever, like if I just get a picture of something, maybe let me sell 100. But like the person I was mentioning, like they came up with their own designs and stuff and like
Yeah.
enhance it and like
I could see it
very greedy of
for
Jagex.
I could see it for plushies, like if you're doing a one-to-one of the
Yeah,
avatar of Jad, then yeah,
maybe a
you're
100.
not doing anything interesting with that content.
I still like the like community plushies more than the makeshift plushies from what I've seen.
Yeah,
Like the community makes some really cute ones and they're handmade, so it's just like all better.
yeah.
But anyway, so avatar license. Under the T's and C's for playing RuneScape, which all players are bound by,
Terms and conditions.
they're really saying this is legal. Jagex owns any player avatars, including those that may be iconic to popular content creators.
It is funny because they say all players are bound by, so if you just never play the game, you're good to go.
I don't think that's how it works. I think whenever you make your character.
I know they, yeah, need to work on your legal talk.
Yeah. So, as long as a content creator's avatar is unique to them and is not based on an iconic outfit, Jagex has no present intention of using the likeness of creators' avatars on merch and would like to enable content creators to do so instead with official sanction. Can you imagine if they were just using people's avatars that they're known for on their own merch? That'd be nuts.
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of like what I'm saying, like how if it was just Jad, then it's not okay.
Hmm.
But also, it's kind of annoying because instead of it just being okay, you on top of that have to get an official sanction.
Yeah. No, it's kind of frustrating. So we've therefore drafted a template for avatar license agreement that content creators can apply for using this form, and they link a form that will be down in the episode description. They have a
It's
lot
21 questions long.
21 questions. My goodness. Yeah, that's a lot. But I mean, if you have like a little iconic character that like your community knows you for, could be worth it to do that. So you'll have it.
Yeah,
Once agreed and signed, this license would define the outfit worn by creator's avatar and give them permission and parameters for using its likeness on merchandise. Avatar outfits unique to the creator and not based on well known outfits worn by other players or any iconic in game characters have potential to be approved at Jagex's discretion. So, under the terms of the license, in most instances, content creators will be able to keep 100% of any revenue from sales of merch based on the licensed avatar likeness. A license for more than one avatar can be requested if different on all accounts. Once an avatar license is in place, content creators would not be restricted by the terms limiting number of units made of merchandising under the fan content policy, and it would be at the creator's discretion how they create and bring merchandise to market, as long as they operate within the parameters of the license. So that's nice. You'll be able to do past the limit of what they have.
yeah.
Something that scares me though is they said where okay, they said in most instances you'll be able to keep 100% of any revenue. So I wonder what are the instances that you won't be able to keep all the money?
Well, I mean, it's just like any.
Just like is it just in case?
No, it's just like anything. Like if they feel like you're infringing too much, then you either have to pay them royalties,
Yeah.
which is like a portion of your proceeds, or all of it.
That's kind of scary. And also the avatar outfits unique to the creator and not based on well-known outfits worn by other players. Could I feel like be hard if people have like similar stuff and they don't realize that they look like another person. But to be fair, if you're like a bigger content creator, you probably know all the other big content creators and you guys could watch out and make sure you don't look the same.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I think it's pretty good, but the fan policy in general just kind of frustrates me. So, but makeshift creator framework and makeshift makers program.
They spelled program wrong, so
I spelled it the English way.
yeah.
Program me.
Program me.
Two M's and an E.
Anyways, as you have seen, Jagex has now entered into an agreement with Makeship to make an official range of OSRS and regular RS plushies.
Which we first saw whenever they did it. We are like, yeah, they're just gonna do this.
Yeah, I mean, they made like a million bajillion dollars off of it, so why would they not make more? So there is going to be a Vorkath Jumbo plushie, a KVD jumbo plushie and an Elvarg jumbo plushie, but we don't know what any of them look like. But you can come back on January 20th and get yours. Well, you can reserve yours.
And yeah, they do take a while to ship out. I think that all the regular plushies didn't ship out until like late December or mid December.
Yeah, it's kind of like if anyone has ever done like drop.com or anything like that, any of those group buy websites,
Oh, I was just gonna say pre-order.
you don't actually get them until the order is fully complete, then the order is fulfilled and then you get your
Yeah,
item.
so they
So
could just make it all once.
yeah, so if anyone's familiar with those, it can take multiple weeks or months before you actually first buy and then get your item.
Which is why I'm saying maybe just support a small creator who makes plushies because there's a few of those in our community.
Yeah, there is definitely a lot. And some creators have already worked with Makeshift to produce fluffy masterpieces based on in game outfits. At this time, this plushie was not made with Jagex approval, but Jagex has since retrospective or given retrospective permission. But
But
yeah,
they're saying we're not happy about it, but we're not going to punish them.
yeah, going forward, we want to introduce a process to allow the creators of new makeshift products with, or yeah, to allow the creation with creators of the new makeshift products as well as a license for an official range. So they're pretty much just saying that if you want to make plushies, you can, but you have to go through Makeship essentially, and it has to be officially sanctioned and stuff like that because going forward, they're not going to be nice like they were for the first person.
Yes. They do say that it will not cover plushies that would not come under an avatar license. So, for example, something that is not based on the creator's usual avatar that might tie in with a one off event that happened during a stream or an item, outfit, or NPC that's iconic to the creator from featuring it in their content series. So basically, you could use like unique stuff. You can't
Yeah.
be like Jad.
I'm guessing they're pretty much just like saying like if you had a YouTube series where you had like a like weird version of Jad wearing like Neve's clothes or something like
Then
that,
that's fine.
and that was like a persistent character through your series, and then you wanted to sell a plushie of that, then you could do that with the
Mhm.
sanctions. But yeah,
It's funny they even say so they say as well, not every item, outfit, creature, NPC in game will be allowed under the framework. So it will need to either be something Jagex is unlikely to want to do for an official range, or have a point of difference that distinguishes it from the version Jagex would want to do.
yeah,
Which is kind of
so
what you just said about Jad wearing clothes, but you can't just
exactly.
Jad.
So like they would probably want to do Jad, but they would probably never do Jad wearing other people's clothes or dressing goofily or something like
Yeah.
that. But even then, Jad is so popular, I feel like
They
they
probably wouldn't
still
let you.
could say no.
Yeah. They do say as well, stylistically, facial features, including eye and mouth shape, etc., would be different to official OSRS RuneScape
Yeah,
plushies.
so maybe if you did Jad with no face.
Something that's kind of unfortunate, I mean, which makes sense to be fair, like legally, is that it's just at their discretion if they're like, well, we might want to do that someday. We might. Even if they're
Yeah.
not doing it, they just reject you in case they want to do it someday.
And on top of that, they do give a not related to what you were just saying, but
Uh-huh.
they do give a little disclaimer saying that if someone is given the go ahead to make their
Yeah, you're
plushie,
gonna have to apply on another form.
it could take anywhere between 2 and 8 months until purchasers receive their plushies.
Yep. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, that's a long time. Makeship will be able to confirm commercial terms and will have certain criteria for the content creators they work with. So just there's just some more legal talk saying not everyone will qualify, and they'll pretty much just pick whatever they want.
Yeah. Something interesting as well is that they say as they have a limited royalty pot, they can pay out on from each sale, and Jagex will also be receiving a percent of sales on this framework. So Jagex will be making money from your design if approved.
Yeah,
This does mean creators will likely be paid a lower percent of sales using this model versus contracting directly with Makeshift to make a plushie based on their avatar under the avatar license. So potentially doing the avatar license and then making your character a plush, well, you'd make more money. But if you weren't making your character, I don't think you can do it that way. I think you have to like take the L and do
yeah.
this way, lose more money.
Yeah, so essentially, just back to like the greed thing. They're just trying to get as much money as they possibly
It
can.
frustrates me like a lot. They make so much money and they're just taking portions of people's ideas.
Yeah, I mean, none of this is a surprise, so it's
Yeah.
kind of just
It's just every big business is like this.
like ask yourself like what is the most like scummy thing a company could do, and then that would be what they're trying to do.
Something that, like, annoyed me because I was saying sorry if you're watching the video, by the way, it just felt like there's a little hair on my nose this entire time. But,
There is.
no, I don't know, it's really annoying. I keep itching my face. But, it reminds me so much of HD, how they were like, "We're canceling the HD because we might wanna do that someday." That's how the plushies are gonna be.
Yeah, and
They're gonna be like, "We're not approving because we might do it."
they just never did it.
They never did HD. So it'll
Yeah.
probably be the same with plushies. They're gonna reject good ideas and then never do it themselves,
Yeah,
and
probably.
everyone will just miss out.
Yeah, yeah, almost certainly.
I am personally probably going to just try and buy from the other creators while they can still get away with it, because now I worry if they're not gonna be able to.
Yeah. It's like not even the same where like for instance, like I think World of Warcraft is fairly restrictive on their IP, but
Mhm.
the thing is they actually have like a very large team that puts out a lot of actual stuff for you to buy like fairly regularly.
Mhm.
So it's not like there's a limited availability or anything like that, but there's just like pretty much no availability for RuneScape stuff and they just also don't put effort into like making that available.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like doubly not good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like, a lot of good ideas they'll probably reject and never do themselves, and we'll just be out of luck.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess we're all glad that it's not that like Jagex isn't Nintendo and just sues everyone that makes anything related to Jagex.
That's the thing,
But
huh?
yeah, but I mean, it's still not good.
Yeah. Could be better, could be worse, though.
Yeah. Speaking of being better, we have a quest, which is some better news.
Yeah, this is the update this week.
Yeah. You did it, so you can actually tell us about it.
Yeah, so starting out with the quest Children of the Sun. We're back with our first update of the new year, and as the new year dawns, we bet you can't wait to see what's in store for 2024. Well, wait no longer, because today, or rather this week, marks the launch of a new quest which will introduce the Varlamore storyline and prepare you to explore the Shining Kingdom as soon as it launches. So, Children of the Sun begins on the familiar streets of Varrock, kind of like in the Varrock Square, where a delegation from Varlamore has arrived to sign a treaty with the rulers of Mistland. It's a day for celebration, but something's amiss. You better find out what's going on. So, speak to the citizens in Varrock Square to start your investigation. I also I did make a guide on this. I'll link it in the description. It's a very short quest,
Yeah, it's like
but
5 minutes long.
yeah, and the video is like 3 minutes long.
It only
So
rewards one quest point and access to
yeah.
Varlamore.
But, what's nice is there's literally no requirements except for you have to be a member,
Yep.
which is cool. Like, you don't have to bring anything. Um, a note on the access to Varlamore, you can't go to Varlamore yet. It'll just be once Varlamore is out, you can immediately go rather than having to do this quest later.
Yep. There you
Yeah.
go. Besides that, we have some Corinne changes. These are changes that we already
I
knew
haven't looked into
were
it. I haven't seen
coming.
this yet.
Yeah. So they removed the Corinne favor system.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it yet. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So this includes the favor interface, side panel, reward interface, UI overlay, as well as the ability to earn favor, and also the mini quest Architectural
I think
Alliance.
that gave you, like, XP, so I'm glad I did that. I think it
Maybe.
did.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Probably. Probably a little bit.
Because it was kind of annoying when you had to get 100% with everyone.
Yeah, speaking of annoying, they
Eh.
have made transport in Corinne slightly less annoying, hopefully. So they made it so that mine carts no longer need to be
Morning
unlocked.
quarks.
Yeah, mine carts no longer to be unlocked. They have no requirements any longer. And for the low price of 20 GP, down from 50 for all you
Over half off.
poor boys, you can ride the rails
Boy
across the
plungers.
across the kingdom. Um, they also added additional mine carts.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Because
you can
I
still
never used the mine cards because they annoyed me.
yeah, you had to get a scroll and
It was a
stuff.
whole thing. I never even
Now,
bothered.
not only is there no requirements, you can still unlock the use of minecarts for free if you really want to, but this will be locked behind the Forsaken Tower quest. If anyone has previously purchased it, it'll just be refunded.
Oh, okay.
Um, New minecart stations have also been added. So to Kingstown, the Farming Guild, Corinne
Oh,
Woodland, the Wintertalk Camp, the Shazian Wall, and near the Tithe Farm.
these are insanely good places.
Yes.
These are actually really good. I'm happy about these.
Also, I'm kind of skipping around, but they are also adding additional teleports in the form of fairy rings. So that's pretty exciting as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
An extra fairy ring near the city is
Way
fine.
before I get to that, Charter ships have been added to Port Piscarius and Land's End,
Okay.
so that's pretty cool. Players no longer need to fix the ferry ring in Arceus in order to use it, and if you already paid, talk to the guy nearby and he'll refund you your GP.
Weird that you had to pay for that one. It was the only one you had to pay for.
Yeah, it was,
Next to the
I think it
library.
was 80K.
Yeah. I remember at the time I couldn't afford it.
Yep. And they've also added a ferry ring near the Hostitius Vinery.
Yeah, that entire so much of Corinne was like in that area was just devoid of any fairy rings or tellies.
Yeah, it
So
was
this
tough.
is really
The
great.
easiest way to get there was with the Cardis Memoirs, which has been improved.
Thank God.
The maximum number of charges has increased from 8 charges per page to 20 charges per page for 100 in total. It's still going to upgrade to Book of the Dead if you so choose, and that'll give you an extra 150 charges rather than an extra 20 for a total of 250 charges.
How did we finish Kingdom Divide to get an extra 20 charges when we could have
Yep.
been getting an extra 150?
Yeah. So this is going to give you a ton of total charges. You are still going to have to charge the book,
Mine's still been
obviously.
uncharged for several months.
Yeah, very, very easy to do. Go to Land's End and do it. I'd recommend it.
I keep forgetting.
Besides that, though, they also made the Corinne Castle teleport much, much better, in my opinion. Before, it was
Yeah.
actually a pretty high level spell, being at 69.
Nice.
It was one of the highest level teleports in the game on the standard spellbook, if I remember. And it also required a soul rune, I think. So now it only requires law, fire, and water,
Hmm.
and can be accessed at level 48.
Yes. It's going to be unlocked by completing Client of Corinne instead of through the library activity like it used to be.
Yes.
And they also have the ability to craft teleport tablets for the spell in your POH.
Yeah.
This is actually controversial, and I think it's understandable, but I don't know what else they could do.
Oh, I know what they did. They
Mhm.
because for anyone that doesn't know or isn't aware, the spell books are all ordered in order of when you unlock the spell. So
Yeah, what level you need.
based on level. So obviously since they changed the level, it has moved where the high alchemy is. Of all the things
That's
it could have moved.
the one that people use the most.
Yes, and it is in a
And it's
very
the opposite it could be.
It is in a very, very iconic place, which is in the middle, very far right of the spell book, and now it has moved to the slightly lower, very far left of
That's
the spell
like
book.
complete opposite.
Yeah, it is
People are
very
not
unfortunate.
happy. But I don't really know what else they could do because they do say that okay, they do offer the ability to filter spells, but they don't currently offer any way of changing the order. So I until they add a way to change the order, like I don't even know what they could do, but it's not good. It looks weird. That was the first thing I actually checked whenever I saw this. I was like, wait, where's the high elk?
Yeah,
Yeah. Apparently this has happened before though, but it's been quite a few years since we last did it, and we know that you'll be very used to the current spell positions. In the future, we're keen to explore offering spellbook reordering as part of our own client, but that's not something that can be implemented soon.
that's something they removed from the mod list.
Was that a mod?
Yeah.
Because it was considered like cheating, or
No, they had I'm pretty sure there was a mod to do that with prayers, and then they I think re-added that or something. Yeah, they re-added that. Remember, because it sucks.
oh, look, they even said right here. In the meantime, we're exploring changing our guidelines for third-party clients to allow spellbook reordering
Yeah,
like they've done for prayers.
yeah, because
I haven't added these
they
plugins
had
yet.
it for prayers, and then they're all like, "No, we don't like that you guys are doing that," so they removed it and then introduced their own, which sucks. I don't know if
Their
it still
prayer
sucks,
ordering
but
sucked so bad. It didn't
yeah,
resize it like it did with
yeah,
the
it was not
spells.
good. And then I think a long time ago they also had a similar thing for spell books, but they didn't like it.
Yeah, well, now it looks like they are probably going to allow that. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
hopefully.
But anyways, I don't think it's that big a deal. You just need to move where you put the items you're high alching to the left side instead of to the right
Yeah.
side
I mean,
now.
it's definitely going to be annoying at first because people who do like Alkagilly and stuff, like, they're probably so used to the muscle memory of it. It's going to be
Eh,
annoying.
I'm sure they will recover.
Nah.
Anyways, there's some questions and answers about a year in review.
This is actually, I really want to talk about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've talked about this in stream a lot. So the year in review, okay, they have a little Q&A. I'll just go through it. What is the year in review? It's a lot of fun stats covering what you've done in OSRS during 2023, kind of like a Spotify wrap for RuneScape. How were players able to receive it? So players who were opted into marketing email communications by December 22nd were eligible to receive this. As of today, they've sent over 743,000 of them. Probably a lot of people on multiple accounts. Why was this email only? Last year, we made a lot of progress on behind the scene projects to improve our data and communication tools, but that work isn't entirely complete just yet. This year, we expect to be able to add the shareable year in review image to the Jagex launcher itself, but that wasn't ready, so either send it via email or don't do it at all. I was opted in but didn't receive the interview. Why is that and when will I receive it? This is actually, it felt like a common problem, but they said it affected approximately 1% of players who are eligible.
which is 7,000 people.
That's a lot of people. Yeah, okay. We're actively trying to solve those issues, but we don't have a time frame to give just yet. But we're working hard to make sure you'll receive this as soon as possible. I wasn't opted in, but I still really like this. Is there any hope for me?
No.
Due to how we set up the data gathering, it's unlikely to be possible. However, once we resolve the issue for players who are opted in, we'll investigate the possibility, but no promises.
So no.
What will we do differently next time? Because most people didn't even know this frickin' existed. We'll do a better job of communicating that this is a thing. We'll endeavor to make it more accessible, like adding it to the launcher.
Yeah, I was like, you couldn't add the
They
notice
didn't
to the
even add anywhere in the
there's
game.
nothing ever interesting on the
The
launcher.
only reason I saw this is because I follow them on Twitter. Like, I don't remember if they even made a news post about it or not.
I don't know.
We expect the technical issues we faced this time to be solved. After all, this was our first time doing it, and we may even be able to run this sort of thing for Deadman and leagues too.
Wow.
Another thing is they need to just announce ahead of time. I think we had less than a week notice for you to go and change your email and sign up for this.
Yeah, it was definitely random.
It was really random.
Speaking of leagues though, it's dead and gone.
Bye leagues. Oh, I ended up getting Rune Ring. I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I like last second too.
But yeah, so Leagues 4 and Christmas is done and gone. So hopefully you didn't like them.
They're actually gonna keep something though. So Jack Frost may have left, but the goose, having lost its main source of entertainment, has sulkily relocated to another nearby field where it's attempting somewhat successfully to blend in. I haven't gone to see that yet, but knowing that there's a little goose wandering around,
You're a little
I
goose.
need to find it later because that's cute.
Some other changes, engine updates to loading times for the player-owned house. Hopefully
Mine
it's
takes a
better.
long time to load.
Yeah, more rooms, more load
I've
time.
been told mine is very bad.
Yeah. The new load time should be consistent regardless of the house's
Oh,
size.
that's nice.
Wow.
That's really nice.
Maybe they're doing something smart like caching the house in memory. The
Mm.
teleport option on the Slayer ring now refer to the cave near Relica as the Fremnik Slayer dungeon for consistency. And this is actually a really nice change. I'm actually a big fan of this.
Hmm.
Clay can now be softened with vials of water.
I think I've tried this. I'm not gonna
Everyone
lie.
has tried this because it
Everyone,
makes sense.
you're like, oh, I have. Okay, this is the only water I have, and you're like, why? Does now I gotta go buy a bucket?
Yep. Or a jug.
Yeah, or a bowl.
Um, Also, for some reason, the 70 attack message, whenever
Wait,
you
why?
reach this level 70 attack, mentioned that you could get the Dragon Hunter Lance, even though it is now 78.
Yeah, it was supposed to be level 78. What? How did that
It
even?
used to be 70.
It used to be. They didn't say that here. It just says which requires level 78 attack. Or do they change that eventually?
No, that's when they changed like the
Oh, yeah,
rapier
yeah.
and all the other
That
items.
was a long time ago, though.
Yeah. The non-special attack animations on the Soul Reaper axe no longer stall the attacker's movement, which is
Okay.
dumb.
We have some merch updates. So with the end of leagues, it is your last chance to pick up the Leagues 4 commemorative pen before they are gone for good. So if you want that, make sure to go get it soon. Orders will close for it on January 16th. They also shared some pictures of everyone's little plushies that they got. They do look really cute, you know. I'll give them credit there. They do look very cute. And they give a little bit of a sneak peek at the new plushes. The only one that you can kind of clearly see is KBD.
Well, that's Vorka.
Well, I mean, I didn't know until I looked really close. You could kind of see blue, but they're like blacked out a little bit, so you can't see them completely.
Yeah, you definitely cannot tell that one of them is Elvarg.
The thing about Elvarg is a tiny little baby compared to the others,
Yeah.
and it's so cute, and I like it a lot. And yeah, the the PvP arena will be using one defense pure loadouts and rank duels and tournaments this week, and that is it for the update. Our first real update of the year.
Yep. The only content we'll ever get.
Honestly, I'm excited for the quest. Since we specifically got that question last week about the best first updates of the year, it feels a little anticlimactic compared to others.
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd get, like, Scurious or something because that would've been, like, a new boss, you
Because you're a
know?
little rat.
Well, and because I think I wanna grind out that boss. I
Okay.
really want the pet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess.
How do you
Not
feel about it?
I mean, definitely not a good first update of the year.
Yeah, it's better than others, but
It's like
it's not no must or next like the
yeah, I
last
was
2.
like Zora, a
Vorkath,
quest,
Muspa, yeah.
like an
We've had some good
introductory
ones.
5-minute long quest,
It's
Zora,
nice that we get the introduction, but yeah, it was such a short quest that it's like,
Dragon
not much.
Slayer 2, which
We've
is
had
a boss and a grandmaster
we've had
quest.
some big updates in the past. I think if they would have done this and like added Scarius, it would have been really good. A
It
boss and a
it
quest.
still would have been one of the worst, but not the worst. I think this is we just
No,
went
the
over
one that we were
this.
talking about, the one that you could eat food from the bank.
I still think this is not as good.
I use that every day, it's true.
Yeah, I this is
Yeah.
not a very good update.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a good update for like a random week in March.
yeah,
It's not a good
for
starting the new year out strong
a
update.
standard update after a long wait, it's okay, but as far as first of the year updates,
Yeah,
it's
also
really
just
weak.
that we haven't had an update in a month and this is the update. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird, but
like a full 4 weeks.
it's been really sad. I'm really glad that we have updates again.
Anyways, we have a Q&A.
We do have a Q&A. So first is from Matt over on Discord. Since OSR's launch, only 2 Novus level member quests have been
Also, is it
added.
novice or novice?
I say both, I think.
I know, I was asking the audience.
Oh yeah, and I also said using root and route as well. Both these quests are meant as introductions to something. A poor sign of interest is for Slayer. Client of Corinne is for Corinne. Also, this is funny because Matt asked this before the new introductory novice quest, which just came out. Son of the Children of the Sun. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say Son of the Children. That's
same
weird.
thing.
Um, it looks like Sailing might have a similar quest. So the question I have is, do you think OSR should have a novice level member quest to introduce the member's world? Like maybe a new tutorial island for member skills, or some sort of quest that makes you travel to different areas of the member's world. That might be useless and a waste of Jagex's time, but I think it could be a good way to help players get a good vision of the member's world early on.
Yeah,
Some ideas were two Morial Island, but the number tutorial island.
I actually really like the second one.
The tutorial one?
Yeah, I
That's
was
actually
actually
cute.
thinking about it before I read it.
Tutorial Island, Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, what do you think
Two
about
tutorial two. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm having fun. I like it actually. I
yeah.
you're laughing at me. I think that they should have that for members one because when I became a member, I didn't know what the frick frack to do. I had
Okay.
no I was like, oh, agility and thieving are 2 member skills. So I looked up the wiki and was like, what are easy quests for these? So I wouldn't be mad if there was like a little introductory quest for those.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if they're all like, "Yo, you're about to leave the tutorial island. Do you want to see what membership has to offer?" And then they send you over there
That
and
would
they
actually be
like
such a good way to get people to get
and
membership.
they just introduce you. They're like, "This is what agility would look like. This is what thieving would look like.
Wow, yeah. I
This is
actually think this is such a good
these are all
idea.
the different hunter animals you could collect."
Yeah. And just make it like short and sweet like tutorial island. And
Yeah.
then give the option to be like, click here to upgrade your account.
It's like click here to upgrade
I
or
think
go to Lumbridge.
I think that would actually get a lot of people to member immediately.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize how good it was.
I'm honestly just kind of a fan of like tutorializing a lot of things that are introductory
Hmm.
just because in games like RuneScape, like I like the idea of like being able to dive into a wiki. That's
Hmm.
cool. But also there's just so many things in such an expansive game that you don't know and it's
Yeah.
impossible to like you don't know what you don't know, but like to the infinite degree.
I think agility is like a huge one. It's like when you start agility, you literally have no idea where to start.
Yeah. I have
And
this
Slayer too. Before Poor Sign of Interest, I had no idea what to do for Slayer.
yeah.
So I started late.
I have the same exact problem with Path of Exile. It's like
Hmm.
unless you have I mean, less so with this game, more so with Path of Exile,
Yeah.
but like unless you are willing to before even downloading the game, willing to spend hours trying to understand the game, you are not at a disadvantage, but kind of at a disadvantage for enjoying the game.
I actually, in hindsight, if before I started RuneScape, someone told me how much time I had to spend on the wiki reading about it, that probably would have made me not want to start playing RuneScape.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I don't
potentially.
mind now, but I think it does make sense if they had something like that, and I think it would make more money for them because people would try members and be like, "Wait, this is actually really cool. I want
Yeah.
this."
Yeah, it's just like I don't want the game to be handholdy, but also I don't want
I
to
just an
like
introduction would be nice.
I don't want it to be where I don't know for like Path of Exile specifically. I don't know how they would remedy this, but like I looked up a particular jewel that seemingly everyone uses and was like, "What is this?" And I spent 2 hours reading about what these jewels do
Yeah.
and like another 3 hours looking for the particular one that I liked, and it's like that is like the opposite of beginner friendly that
Mhm.
it's like there has to be some type of onboarding for certain things in the game.
Yeah, I
So it's
agree.
like it would just make it more interesting. Like I'm not a typical player. Most typical players would be like, I don't know what this is. I don't really care
I'm
what
not gonna
this
use
is.
it.
I'm just gonna skip this.
Yeah. But you could be skipping on something really cool if you do that.
Yeah, it's like
So,
they'll either skip it or they just will not play the game.
yeah.
It's that simple. Why do you think there's like so many people that get into games like Fortnite, one of the most popular games of all time? You log in and you shoot the other
You just
players.
know what to do immediately.
Yeah, it's like
That's, like, a very common question people ask who don't play RuneScape is, "What do you do when you start?"
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I think they should add more stuff like that. Like it's hard to find a balance between hand holdy and
Well, I
informative.
mean, novice level quests I think are perfect for it because they take 5 minutes
Yeah,
and they explain it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Next is from Hargo on Discord. So what is the this is actually personal and OSRS, so I guess I'll put it under OSRS in the episode timestamp. But what is the biggest project you planned and put effort into, but in the end canceled it? So for Harger, as a kid, I planned an entire RuneScape bed and breakfast. Took me probably 50 hours between designing the page on the forum, designing the logo, building my house exactly how I wanted it, finding my employees, etc. But I got bored of it and quit. And then recently in real life, I canceled an Austrian cultural podcast that I was starting. I recorded about 6 episodes, but won't release any of them because I started some new projects I like better. I regret that I put so much time into it, but I'm glad I stopped now instead of starting and feeling like I have to continue something I don't like as much as other things I'm doing. Okay. Biggest project you plan to put effort into and then canceled. Um, I mean, mine, RuneScape, we did a thing. I won't say with who. I don't know if they'd care. We were going to do a project with someone.
Oh
And
yeah, I forgot about
we
this.
we put a lot I feel so bad about it because we ended up just it was too
Uh,
much for us
it was a project that entailed
maxing
partially
accounts.
maxing 2 accounts,
Yeah, I mean, it was all 3 of us playing it, to be fair, but it was just too much effort, but we spent a long
and some of
time.
the skills involved were mining,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
example.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time at Mother with mine on that account. But yeah, we spent, like, a couple months just, like, on and off doing that, and then eventually we did quit, which I feel bad because we all kinda stopped playing. I guess the accounts even got
Yeah,
hacked.
the idea seemed to be abandoned by all involved
Yeah.
at some point or
But I
another.
do feel bad because I think that if that person reached out to someone else, potentially it could have happened. It was supposed to be like a video.
It
It was like
was
a role playing story kind of.
I think from the get go, while it was interesting, it was a very, very
Uh,
ambitious idea.
it was very ambitious, and we are already busy individuals, so
Yeah.
we spent a lot of time working on that, but it did not pan out,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Um, Other than that, just like I mean, for RuneScape, any video series ideas that I like spend time planning. There's one I was gonna do like the Iron Optimal Quest Guide in order, and I made like 3 videos, and I realized I am not a YouTube series kind of gal. I am a one and done video person, so
Yeah.
I thankfully didn't spend too long on that. But like I said, editing videos, I'm really slow at it, so I spent more time than I wish I would have on that.
Yeah.
You can't say RuneScape, and then we'll do real life.
I don't know what my RuneScape necessarily was. I mean, I've started multiple accounts that I just never really did
I mean,
anything
probably
with.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I like started them and maybe hoped to like maybe make a series or do something interesting with them, but then eventually just probably stop playing them.
Yeah, and then, I mean, maybe just the project that I was talking about as well.
Yeah, probably that one as well. Besides that, this wasn't like something I super planned out, but at the time I did spend a lot of time on as a child. But without knowing it, having never played Dungeons and Dragons, I like low key invented Dungeons and Dragons.
When I was in high school, I went to DoorDash before I knew it was a thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I was telling my friends how if they wanted me to deliver them food, they could pay me for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know DoorDash was a thing.
But yeah, so like whenever I was a kid, this is actually when I lived in Maine for a couple years.
Yeah.
I spent like hours creating on Excel.
Oh,
I was creating like sheets that included your name, your age, all that stuff, as well as a bunch of arbitrary stats like strength and agility that I just thought would have been cool. And then like different perks that your character would have that you would just write in, and then you would write what they did and
I'm gonna
stuff like
cry.
that.
This is the cutest thing I've
And
ever heard in my life.
it was like an entire full page of like your character and what they were and stuff like that, and like their class and everything. And then I printed out multiple of those, and I took it to school, and like other people were interested in it, but I never like actually committed to playing, and I didn't really have an idea besides thinking creating these characters were cool.
I think that just the creation part of stuff is really fun.
Yeah, and
That
it
reminds me of like playing with dolls when you're little. You like I never
yeah.
liked actually playing with dolls. I liked setting it up, thinking of a story for them, and now I'm like, okay, well, time to set up a new one because the setup's the most fun for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, I spent like hours and
You
hours
got
on
people
it.
invested in it, and you're like,
Yeah.
nah.
It was like a multi-day thing, and then it just disappeared like
That's so
overnight.
cute. What'd you call it? Like burrows and worms?
I have no idea what I called it.
I was just trying to think of an off-brand Dungeons and
Yeah.
Dragons.
I have no idea.
That's cute. Those poor people who were excited for your idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was loosely based on like a compilation of games I had played in the
Yeah, of
past,
course.
but I had never played RuneScape or obviously, but never played
D&D.
D&D at the time. So
Aw, that's so cute.
yeah, it was a lot like Dungeons and Dragons though.
Um, in real life, a project you put a lot of effort into but then canceled it. Oh my god. Trying to learn web development.
Oh yeah.
That's for both of us.
Well, I still actually kind of do that, but
Yeah, that's true. I spent several months working on that. I made two websites. One of them I straight up copied Robert's website. Did I make two or one?
you tell me.
I don't remember. Oh no, I did. I did make one for my friend too, actually, for her
Oh yeah,
business.
you actually maintained it.
Yeah, that one was pretty. It was kind of nice looking too. And then I realized I hated it, so I ended up quitting. I mean, I'm glad I quit when I did because it was. This is known. Everyone knows on Twitch as well now. I'm a very bad learner, and it is something you are constantly learning. Robert even told me it's something you constantly learn, and this is before I realized and am okay with being a not great learner.
Yeah, a lot of things in tech are that way.
Yeah,
You have to continually learn, or you will die.
yeah, and I would just die. Um, I was gonna kind of say also my old podcast. I don't know if that would count, but I did that for a couple years and
You did
then
cancel it
we did cancel it.
by
Yeah.
choice.
We had a lot of fun doing it, but it ended up starting to feel more like a chore just because me and my friend were so busy with in real life stuff. You didn't know, I used to have before Bunebape a true crime and ghost podcast called Spooky Shit. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was actually really fun.
Tales from the Beyond.
Whenever we first started the podcast, it was me, my friend, and my sister Leah was also in it. And me and Brayden wanted to just call it spooky shit. And then Leah was like, no, that's too short. And she had us, we came up with spooky shit and Tales from the Beyond. And then as soon as she left, we rebranded to just spooky shit. She
Yeah.
was only on it for like 6 months. And then she kept having nightmares. So she quit. We
Also,
ended up going for like another year and a half.
I invented the name of that podcast.
Spooky shit?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because we wanted to call it creepy shit. And then Robert was like, what about this?
Yeah, it was way better.
Yeah.
But
Also, someone else had the same name for a podcast, and one of their hosts was also named Michelle. I
nice.
realized that several months later.
That's pretty
I
cool.
looked up an Apple Podcast and was like, oh. But yeah,
Yeah,
in
that's
real
it.
life project, oh, it's the D&D. But do that little outro.
Do my little outro. Well, yeah. Hopefully you
That's all
all
this week.
enjoyed it. That is all for this week. Yet again, of course, if you do want to participate in the podcast with asking us questions or suggesting things we might want to cover, feel free to ask us on any of
Mhm.
our socials.
Yeah, so our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube are all Bunebape. I'm trying to post more videos. I've still been playing shorts out every night. I'm feeling very happy about it because I realized I have like 17 shorts ready. I don't know if I told you that. Very happy about that. And, yeah, join our Discord. We do, like, movie nights and bond giveaways and stuff, and come hang out with us. And I've been tobbing a lot, so you could come tob as well on stream if you want. Oh,
Yeah,
twitch.tv/Bunebape, 5 days a week.
there you go.
Yeah.
So thanks again for listening. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all
Very soon.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.